Fighting Talk back again, and today I'm delighted to be joined by UFC Heavyweight Mick Parkin ahead of his bout on July the 22nd against Jamal Pogues at the UFC's return to London. Mick, let's start there. UFC Heavyweight now. It's been nearly a year since you won the contract. Had time for it to sink in, but it must still feel amazing, does it?
Yeah, it feels amazing now to finally be in the UFC. I always good enough to start to believe in myself. Try to get matchups like early on in my career, especially turning pro. A lot of late pullouts, getting people like a few journeymen. So I knew people were looking at this thinking, oh, well, he's only fighting like journeymen, but it was hard to get matchups. But I always knew I kept going away, beating who was in front of us. Like, bigger shows would come knocking, then I'm thankful it was the UFC.
Look, if we go quickly back to that Contender series then, and it was another first round stoppage for yourself. I mean, incredible performance. And what was it like to hear Dana say them words that you've got the contract?
Oh, it was crazy. Obviously, I tried not to let it get too much for us at the time, the show. I just thought of the opponent rather than the actual show. I knew he was going to be my hardest test to date. I knew he was explosive. He was finishing guys in the first round. But I knew my skill set was more well-rounded than his. I thought he'd either be nervous and it would be a slow pace, or be the opposite and he'd be looking for finish early. He looked for the finish early, whether like a bit of an early storm. Then when I sort of like knew when I got him down and he was spent, he tried his hardest to get us out there. And then I think he just wasted a lot of energy in the big throws, the big shots. And I got on top of him and managed to get the choke.
And look, like I say, it's been a year since that contract came around, but what a show to make your debut on. The return, of course, of your good friend Tom Aspinall as well, headlining. But how nice is it to have that home show for your debut?
It's perfect. I was talking to like Davey Grant when he comes here, and the last time he fought in England was 2014. So he was saying, I haven't fought in England for ages. He keeps wanting to get the England cards and never seem to put them on. So he's obviously on this one, he's buzzing. So I'm glad really, because that could be me. I could be never in England again for ages. So hopefully he keeps coming back to London. I get on them. Obviously with the likes of certain stars coming through now, I think it'll come to the England more. But it's perfect. And being in the training camp with Tom and Big Phil at the same time, we'll all be down there together, and we've got like a bit of a team going now, so it'll be great.
I mean, that training camp, you look at yourself, of course, Phil the Freeze KSW World Heavyweight Champion, Tom Aspinall, you look at any of your social medias, in that team that's down there in Wigan. What's it like to have so many big guys, and how much have you found that helps brought you on as a fighter?
So I'm lucky to have Phil like day in, day out at the gym at TFT where we're at now. So I'm lucky to have a great heavyweight with us all the time. There's a few here, there's about 3 or 4. There's Paul here just started training with us from 1FC. So there's 3 of us like fighting on big shows, and there's a lot of fighters who have fought in the past. So we've got about 3 or 4 big lads here. So that's good. But obviously to go down there, sometimes the match like 7 or 8 big guys, which is like unheard of, and some of them are absolutely huge. They're all a pretty high standard. So I get to train there, train with Tom. Obviously great guys, and there's some giants. So like there's no easy rounds where you're looking over and thinking, oh, I'll have a rest round. They're all trying, they're all competitive. They're like, no one's trying to hurt each other, but they're all trying to like win. So like all the fights there is like not like a fight, but they're all hard. You're gassed at the end, and then like Tom does loads of like little finishes at the end where we're like pad sprawling. So it's good to train with Tom and like steal a bit of his stuff.
We've mentioned him a few times now, of course, it is the return of Tom Aspinall. I know you can't go into too much detail, but how's he looking and what can we expect from him?
He's always looked great in all the camps, but like it turns out he's actually just had one knee, I think, all the time. And this is probably a blessing in disguise. Now he's like 100%, and like he must be a bit of like a freak really, because I think like he had that operation and like loads of people. It's like 6 month recovery, and I think within like a couple of weeks he was like squatting down, like weight bearing on his knees. So he's definitely like an athletic specimen. So now he's got 2 knees. I think it'll only be better. So I think like Tybura seems like a good guy, but like I've gone with Tom all the time. I think for like blow him out the water. I think.
You've got Tom there, you've got, like we said there, Phil DeFries as well. Vastly experienced guys who are at the very, very top of their game. How nice is it for you to be going in to such a major promotion like the UFC, but have these guys there to sort of almost coach you through that whole week? Because it's going to be a busy week. It's not a case of like maybe on a Rise and Conquer that I've called a couple of your fights and where you just turn up on the day and then you fight. It's a whole week experience. So what's it like having them guys there to help you through that as well?
It's amazing. Obviously, Phil's been like top of the game for like the last 15 years. Obviously, Tom's brought in the scene. Like he's probably the rising star now, and like he's a cemented name. Yeah, it's good because obviously like just the interviews aspect when I'm down there, there's a load of like BT Sports there, or like John Gooden's there, so it's good to be around that. And like to be fair, Tom's been great, like promoting me. He's been putting pictures on my Instagram, and loads more followers through him. He's organised a few interviews when they're down, like interviewing me as well. So it's great. And yeah, just to pick his brains, like him and Phil have been there, they've done it. I can ask him like things about the fight and things like behind the scenes that go on, like, and ask them everything. Like they've been there, done it. So like I'm just picking their brains constantly, and like I know what to expect now. Where some people like went there the first time, but like you said, there's like this to do, that to do, but I know everything you expect now.
And look, if we look now at the fight itself, Jamal Pogues, like I say, what have you seen on him? You're giving away quite a bit of experience here in this, much again, I guess, like Tom did to Jay Collier when he made that debut. But what do you make of Jamal as an opponent?
I think I originally watched him win the Contender series. I think I watched most of the heavyweights win them, so I thought I'm probably going to get matched with somebody like that, the way things were going. So I think I did watch his fight when he won. Obviously, when I got matched with him, I rewatched his fight, and then he won the UFC. Obviously, he won. So I think it's quite a fair matchup. Obviously, I haven't fought in the UFC yet, and he has. But I think he's 10-3, I think, something like that. So a little bit more experience, but it's the biggest shows where it really counts. So I know. I know what he's good at. I've been game planning here with Fisher, and like hopefully that goes my way. But I feel like I'm better in all areas, really.
Look, I know you've got to play it by ear or by strike, if you like, when you're in there, but a lot of your finishes are first round. He seems to, especially as he's went on in his career, it's went them unanimous decisions or the split decision route. Are you expecting him to try and drag this out and drag you into them later rounds?
I think he's like athletic. He's very fast for a heavyweight, so I think he like pulls ahead the first 2 rounds and wins quite comfortably. Then takes his foot off the gas. So I think I need to make it a hard fight for him early, which I'm going to do. So no, I think it's heavyweights and one shot can change it. So I never would say always wins. I always plan to go the 3 rounds, and obviously it never has went that far yet. But I'm like fit enough to go 3 rounds, so I'll see how it goes. But no, I'm ready for the 3. But like he might come out crazy, like the crowd might get here, he might come for a finish. So I'm ready for everything, really.
On that fitness aspect as well, look, you're a much trimmer man than you have been in. I think it was again Tom that put the photo on of the two of you stand in. You're posing a much bigger, more threatening figure. What's changed in your training to get you into the shape you're in? And I'd say the best shape of your life entering this one.
I always eat pretty decently anyway, so I always eat good for heavyweight. Like I just think I've got terrible metabolism. I think just go down now the hard rounds, extra rounds, the finishes at the end. I think that's just changed up. I've changed my diet up a bit, like eating mega clean now. Like I'm still having like not like these like guys where they're killing themselves. Still have a Saturday night while I have like a pizza or something or a burger. But I generally try to eat really good, and like, I think it's extra rounds going down there, and then obviously Phil being in camp as well, pushing us as well. I thought I'd get so much better. Then like if I get a little bit better, he has to get better, and we're pushing ourselves constantly down here. And then we'll go away up and spar there, and I've got Fisher when I come back to say, oh look, this hasn't worked. I got stuck here with Tom, or I got stuck here with such and such. Any ideas? And he'll give me like a few sequences to go over. I'll drill it here, and I can try it on the guys over there who don't know what we're drilling day in day out. So I can like literally see me progression. Where like before, people asked us what we are, I just probably said I was more of a striker with kickboxing background. While now I feel like I'm literally all around. I can wrestle now, I can grapple in there. I've pinched things off Phil, which like he's dominating people with grappling. I feel like he's one of the best two-way grapplers on the planet. So if I can stay like even little bits from him, it like improve me as an athlete.
Finally, then I know you've got your class that you need to get back to, so just the last one. For UFC fans who maybe haven't seen a Mick Parkin performance, what can they expect? And can I get a prediction off you for how you see it going?
I'm a bit more technical heavyweights. What you usually say, I'm not going to be one who's just swings for the fences and stuff like that. More technical. I've got a game plan we're going to stick to, and hopefully piece them up as the rounds go by. I'm ready for everything, but I think he's definitely tough. He's not going to be a walk in the park, so I think I'll slowly get to him. So I think it'll be a late first round finish or a second round finish.
Mick, thank you very much for the time and all the best.